Don't you just love that elevator music to start the show?
I thought we were at a hootenanny.
Makes
I
you
didn't
feel
realize
like,
it was a elevator.
oh,
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 you're
you
talking
talking
about
about
the
this right here?
countdown music.
Oh, you talking about this right here?
Yeah, I thought you were doing the. I thought you were talking about the hootenanny.
Where will we ever hear this song at?
At a hootenanny.
Scars Hill. I like the upbeat country music. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So you big friend of the chicken fry? Cold beer on a
Yeah,
Friday night.
a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. Yeah, man. Back in my San Diego days, I used to go to the country bars a lot because you know they like rhythm there, and there's not much.
Well, that's also where the lunch pail guys go. You know, the guys that want Pabst Blue Ribbon, the guys that want a ham sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayo on it. They like buffalo wings, not lemon pepper hot.
You're funny, you know that?
You know, I won class clown in high school. I mean, I know that's eons ago, but it's true. I did.
Hold on, you want class clown for real?
I seriously, it's in the yearbook and everything.
Were you not?
That was my. I won class clown.
Were you not offended by that?
Nah, I think that you got to understand the reason people think I'm funny. It's not because I try to be. People just think I'm a funny person for whatever reason.
Oh, I just thought, given where you went to school and, kind of how, your demographics, that could have been a touchy subject, back in 2011.
Well, not even. I just think that a lot of people found me funny because, like, I don't know.
I'm
Some people think I've got a unique sounding voice. People just think I'm funny. My eyes and shit, like some of the body language I give, people think it's funny.
You got 2 minutes? You got a 2 minute bit for us?
Not for free. Not for free.
That's what she said.
Wow, that's what she always says. But how are we doing today?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
Hey, we're hanging tight. We got a big day tomorrow, and just been prepping, and so feeling good.
What if I told you that, like, if when you asked me, like, how are you doing? If I said, like, hey man, I'm in the abyss right now. How would that, like, response change on air?
I'd say, hey guys, we're gonna take a break here. Give us about 10 minutes. We'll be right back.
Oh, that's a great guy. If you tell me that, I'll probably say push through, buddy. We'll talk about it after.
I'd say we'll get to that. Just kind of go from there.
But on a serious note, I would assume that we would have covered that in pre-production or like leading up to the show. So if you dropped a bomb on if you dropped a bomb on me like that, pause. Whoa.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
Oh, sorry guys.
Whoa, maybe that was appropriate.
Yeah, but
face down or face up rather.
Oh man, don't remind me about face down.
Look, I'm just saying,
calling back to pre-production, but like because we talk throughout the week and have pre-production. If like you dropped a bomb on me like that during the show, I would think you were like joking.
I think that you wouldn't have done it, so it's pointless at this point, Lee.
Hey man, you're right, but it's not pointless.
What's that?
This throwback we got planned for Sunday night or Monday night, excuse me. Whoa.
But that fits there too. This throwback, huh?
To do what Falcons do. Look at that.
I mean, I'm sure that could be applicable to some people who go to the games because the NFL has a inviting atmosphere to people of all backgrounds, creeds, denominations, so on and so forth. All are welcome to watch football.
See the wham in a circle? It could be that type of throwback too, you know?
You know, I'm looking forward to moving back to the city. I think I'm gonna be like a heavy strip club guy.
But why? Why would you want to be?
I like the environment.
Just women shaking their ass, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Smelling like smoke. Old chicken wing grease frying, some extra crispy lemon pepper steppers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like super creative in that environment.
$30 shots.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not gonna be in there just getting hammered. And part of me being a regular is I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work the bartender because I'm not gonna be a big spender, so I'm not gonna get a lot of attention from the ladies, which is fine. It's just that environment, man. The music, the atmosphere, the ambiance.
The women. I mean, let's just call it what it
Yeah.
is. If the women weren't there and everything else remained the same, you wouldn't go.
That well,
You
you
wouldn't. The
mean
women are what makes that environment that environment. That's why it's background noise, right? Ultimately, that you can, if you want to, you can. Like it's like
yes,
you talked about elevator music. Imagine some elevator music sitting, and then but you're in the elevator and you're like, damn, this is kind of busting. You're like, turn it up. Turning it up is you going over to them,
yeah,
but it's background noise.
yeah, absolutely. It's mainly gonna be me just sitting there, chilling on my phone, texting, looking at scores, putting shit in my notes, and developing thoughts and ideas.
I think Dave Chappelle said he did something similar to that at one point. He said he had went there in one of the specials. I don't remember if he was. It was probably a joke, but like he said something about reading a book or some shit. But he referenced it was Magic City specifically that he talked about.
Well, see, I don't plan on being a magic guy. You know, we're gonna find us a lower strip club where your
The
dollar
New
stretch.
Follies?
I doubt it.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna live on that side of town.
You gonna go to pinups?
Look here, man. We're gonna find a place that's close, and we're gonna make friends there, and it's gonna be a vibe. And you're gonna come hang out with me. You're gonna come hang out with me there sometimes, and you're gonna be like, "Why are we here?" It's just like, "Why not?"
Well, you know the people I know are at Magic.
Yeah.
No one, and not just the stripper. I'm saying I know the
Oh,
security. I know me and him we follow each other on Instagram. I know the security dude too. So like
well, I wasn't thinking about
Super's
any
cool.
women.
Shout out to Super if he's watching.
I wasn't talking about any women, honestly. I was just talking about, with you living so close, I imagine you made some relationships there from the times that you decided to go there because I know you and you make friends everywhere you go.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game.
Should we talk about the Falcons finally? I mean,
Yeah, I
I
don't see why
was
not. I don't see why not. But I know it started off because we were talking about throwback unis, which please, Arthur Blank, Rich McKay, whoever actually is in control, can we? And actually, really, it's Rich. I don't know if Rich has anything to do with how the NFL works its uniform policies. I know he's competition committee, but I don't know if that has anything to do with competition. But can we please just make these permanent?
I mean,
Please,
yeah, they should be our home.
just make
Like,
them
let's
our
make
home
them our
jerseys.
home because the
And
ones we
then
have
and
ain't
then
it.
yeah, and then since now we can do two helmets, make the road jersey helmet the black version of that red helmet, like the 90s version of the Falcons. Make that with the white, and then let's get the silver britches back and we're good to go.
Yeah, yeah, just bring back the Dirty Bird uniforms, and
It
then
sounds pretty easy to me because then they can pull out the Michael Vick starting, Matt Ryan ending era jerseys as a throwback in 5 years, where they wear the all black that Vick wore, or we never have had it all red, but you could wear the all black or something, right? And with that helmet, and then it's like, okay, this is refreshing again because it's been a minute. The nostalgia's kicking in.
That all black from the Vic era was so nice, and I really hated in the Matt Ryan era. We became a red top, white bottom team.
Yeah.
I like the red and the white. Don't get me wrong, but coming into that jersey pack, the red was the alternate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. They wore the black, obviously, with the black and then white
I
on
have
white.
I had the red Vic 7 back in the day.
Same.
Yeah, I had
That
that
was the
red Vic
jersey.
7.
That was the jersey. Everybody, the Reebok, yeah, with the NFL equipment right there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, the V-neck. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was a time. It was a time, and that's why anyone that hears me ever talk about the Falcons, I don't want them to think I didn't like Michael Vick. I did. I love Michael Vick.
Well, a
I'm
lot of
happy.
people
I'm
think you.
super happy for him now more than anything. But
A lot of people think you don't like Michael Vick though.
because I refuse to kiss the ring and say he was the best quarterback or Falcon ever when he wasn't, he's neither. I mean, it's just the truth. It doesn't mean I didn't like him.
So he wouldn't be. Would you put him on your Falcons Mount Rushmore?
If we're talking everything and not just playing, yes. But if we're talking strictly playing, no, he wouldn't be on it. He's not one of the 4 best performing Falcons of all time. He's one of the 4 most popular, and I think what he brought to the franchise, nobody else has brought to it.
I mean,
So,
sellouts.
nah, Matt Ryan sold out too. We were winning games. You know what I mean? That's how you sell out normally. That's how you
Well,
should be selling out.
well, Michael Vick just sold out because he showed up.
Good for him. He's a very popular player at the time. I mean, I don't, again, this is what I'm saying. I don't have an issue with Vic. I think I have an issue with Vic fandom. Vic fandom is what the issue is. It's an overrated take on a guy that people didn't really watch. They just knew he was on the team. He's on the video game. He's in T.I.'s music videos. Like culturally, he's a phenomenon. And I understand that. That's why for my Falcons Mount Rushmore, he's not on it if we're talking strictly ball. If we're talking everything considered, he's on it. But if we're talking strictly ball, he wouldn't be on mine.
So your
I can
issue.
name 4 Falcons better than him.
So your issue is Michael Vick fans, not Michael Vick.
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds kind of
Not
backwards
Falcons
considering he
fans.
was the one fighting the dogs. But we have to give Michael Vick credit. If he doesn't fight dogs, Matt Ryan's never a Falcon. He isn't. He's probably in Miami, potentially to at least have taken them to the Super Bowl, and he'd be considered the second greatest Dolphin, certainly quarterback ever. Or he could even be the best. Who knows? He could have maybe won down there. I don't know.
So you're thankful that Michael Vick fought dogs, so we ended up getting the greatest Falcons quarterback ever. Is what you're telling me?
I'm saying, have you ever heard the story of the Chinese farmer?
I have not. Please enlighten me.
Well, Chinese farmer goes to a village boy and he says, I need this, that, and the third for this, but maybe not. Then that boy didn't take whatever it was. I'm also just summarizing this, guys. I don't know it word for word. But essentially, the point of the story is that it's a butterfly effect of events. At the end of the day, if that doesn't happen, more than likely he's not a Falcon. So am I happy he fought dogs? Absolutely not. We had just paid him a 10-year, like $115 million contract. Or maybe it was 150 actually. He was getting like 15 a year, which was at the time was high.
That's big money.
Right?
10 years too.
Yeah. So we were tied to him, and I'm sure that voided the entire contract. But he lied to Arthur Blank, which he was at the draft that year, and they asked him about it. He lied about it. And I get it. Is he going to get on ESPN and say, yeah, we're fighting dogs over there? What's it to you? He's not going to say that. And so I get it, but I would just have said, I'm not going to talk about that. If ESPN would like, they can reach out to my attorneys, but I'm here to talk football. If you guys want to talk football, we'll talk football. Don't have me on then.
So you're mad at Vic for not coming clean.
Hey, man, let's get to the Falcons. I'm not about to sit here and get into a Michael Vick rabbit hole. Shout outs to Michael Vick. I'm not sure how well Norfolk State's doing, but shout outs to him for going back home and trying to do something in his community.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Vick, man. Shout out to Michael Vick. So Parlay Pete, man, we got the Bills coming into town uh for Monday Night Football, Monday nights in Atlanta. You know what Falcons do? We rise up. We got the throwback units. We got the Bills coming off of a tough loss to the Patriots on a last second drive by Drake May, and we got the Falcons coming off of a bye and a solid win versus Washington, who looked freaking amazing Sunday against Jim Harbaugh and the boys. So, what are your thoughts on the Bills coming into town?
These are always special. It's been 8 years since the last time we played them. I was at the last time we played them. That was the 2017 season, and I think when we lost to them, we dropped to 4-4, and this was halfway through. It was at the midway point of the season. Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback. This was actually the year the Bills first made the playoffs with it. I want to say it was maybe McDermott's first year, or maybe Rex was still there. I don't remember. But Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback, and Bills Mafia showed up and showed out, man. They had, even then, and this was, again, before they had made the playoffs. Like, the Bills hadn't been to the playoffs at that time since, like, 2001. It had been a very long time. And, yeah, it was a fun and amazing game, and I'm hoping for the same thing to come this Monday. And, yeah, we got ourselves a handful coming in with Josh Allen. Certainly, that is going to be the biggest challenge for the team. But as far as offensively against that defense, turn them loose. I mean, we better use Bijan and Tyler. No Ed Oliver. I'd run it straight up the gut. That secondary, if Stephon Diggs, and it's no shot at Stephon Diggs. We all know Stephon Diggs is a former All-Pro, former Pro Bowl player. I'm sure he's still a good player. But at the end of the day, Drake London should be running circles in that secondary as well. And then if we have a healthy Moon, another guy that should be able to get loose. Like, I don't understand why we shouldn't put up 40 points on this defense. And maybe I'm being tongue in cheek by saying 40, but we should score a lot more points than them.
So you're saying we're better than them? That's what you're telling me.
I think that in this spot, yes.
So you wouldn't say that in January in Orchard Park?
No. I don't. I mean, well, if things remain where they are now, this is a team that currently is ranked number 1 in total defense, the Falcons, that is, and we can run the ball. So you never know. That type of game, that environment is where you need those two things. If you got a top defense and you can run the ball, you'll win football games.
Hey, and Michael Penix played in Indiana and in Washington.
Yeah, and those aren't warm weather places. So
no. So I am skeptical going in. We got the Bills off of a loss, a tough loss, a game where they beat themselves just by turning the ball over.
It's like 4 turnovers in the first 7 minutes of that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Sloppy
then you just have my overall fear factor anytime the Falcons play against star quarterbacks. Because we don't have a star quarterback, it's scary.
And especially running quarterbacks.
Yeah, we like to let quarterbacks run, especially the ones like Josh Allen, who he's not here to just run the ball, but he can run to pass, but then actually run for 30 yards. And we got to gang tackle him. We can't let him get ahead of steam. We can't let him get 101s. If we got one in hitting him, we need a backer right behind him, to clean him up. It should be a game if we have sacks, that it's a lot of half sacks going around,
Yeah. The other.
So go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing that we struggle with that's going to be a part of this game that I do kind of feel for. Now, again, we have the number 1 total ranked defense, and this is not obviously based on total numbers since we've only played 4 games and a lot of teams have played 5. This is on a per game average. We are number one. We also are number one in pass defense, and we do get A.J. Terrell back. But what concerns the hell out of me is the idea of Dalton Kincaid running a seam up the middle with that big 6'6" frame of his and being able to win jump balls against an Xavier Watt, who has played fantastic, to win a jump ball against a Jesse Bates, all-pro. That's what concerns me when it comes to a team like the Bills, because they do have big physical guys up there. And James Cook, this will be somewhat, I mean, I know he's not from here, but being a dog, it's a little bit of a homecoming for him, too. And he, prior to this weekend's game with the Bills game, the Patriots game, he didn't do too much, but he led the NFL in rushing yards coming into that game. So they're able to run the ball. And again, they've got big physical guys. Keon Coleman's 6'4". You know what I mean? I mean, Shakir's a smaller dude, but they got a lot of big dudes. Dawson Knox, another, backup tight end. These are the games where you look up and you see an Austin Safarian Jenkins like type performance, and that does concern you, especially coming off that loss, because they are pissed. And teams like the Bills, who win 13, 12 games a year, they don't typically lose back-to-back games.
No, they don't. And that's what scares the hell out of me. They're more prepared for primetime Monday Night Football than we are, although we do have the B team.
Well, let's check this out, though. You know the Falcons' record since 2015 on Monday Night Football?
What, 1-1?
7-1.
Shit.
We're 7-1. They said, and it began with the season opener in 2015, where we beat the Eagles. We played them on the opening Monday night that year, which I don't know why. Why do we always typically get season opening matchups with the Eagles? And they're always night games.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's always at the very beginning of the season, except that one time where we did the fact check. Michael Vick's first game returning as a player, not as the starter. That game was on a Sunday. But outside of that, for the most part, our games are always on prime time, and they're always the first or second week of the season.
A couple years ago, since I've had tickets, we played the Eagles week 1 at 1:00. That's back when Arthur used to open up the roof to start the year. Which I hope he opens it up Monday night.
Yeah, it should be plenty of perfect weather, and it just looked really cool on TV.
Shout out to. Never mind. That was going to be an asshole comment to make.
Why do you want to be a dick about stuff, Lee?
I'm not. That's why I didn't say it. I stopped myself. But anything else on the Falcons?
In terms of, we had a bye week, so nothing to recap. We can't shit on anybody. We can't praise anyone. It's kind of just, let's wait and see. Let's see. Last year, coming out of the bye, if you remember, we played the Chargers, and the team looked flat as shit. Kirk Cousins looked hurt, and we got dominated in what was a must-win game. Because if we had lost that game, which we did, that would have been, it was 3 in a row, or maybe that was the 4th one in a row. Because we went into the bye week on a losing streak, and they didn't look like they were very prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about the Bills anyways, you want to talk about that Sunday Night Football game? Drake May making one of the best plays that we've seen in a while. My God, he had a guy's hand in his breastplate and he still got the pass off. But yeah. It was a slow game early, but it was a hell of a football game. And real quick, credits to Mike Vrabel, which is why I personally wanted him to be the Falcons coach, because that looked like a Mike Vrabel game. Like, win, lose, or draw, the Bills would have had to come and earn their paycheck that day, and they earned their paycheck and still lost. You know what I mean? Even some of those late hits, you just know that's Vrabel talking about play through the echo of the whistle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be physical. I'd rather you mess up being too aggressive than mess up being not aggressive enough. And he was able to put his imprint on that game, shrink the game, and ultimately ink out a win.
Yeah, they looked a lot better than I expected them. Obviously, anyone that follows the picks will see, which, by the way, we went 4-2. But anyone that sees the picks knows that I took Buffalo on the hook at 7.5, and They lost straight up. We did get the dog right with the Broncos, which we'll get to that game next. But yeah, again, it looked like a Mike Vrabel coach football team, and it looked like the Bills were more about their uniforms than they were about their play. It was sloppy football. They couldn't run the ball. Dalton Kincaid had a hell of a game, but like outside of that, you didn't really get production from anyone else. And Josh Allen had a pretty costly pick there down in the red zone. And yeah, the defense couldn't get off the field and get a stop when they needed to.
Are you trying to sell a tight end?
I'm listening.
Okay, we can just talk after. I need to buy a tight end.
Okay.
Badly.
Okay.
But no, that was I mean, it was just a good game, and you know what I loved about Mike Vrabel?
What's that?
You can just see that big fucking chaw on his lip during the game.
Yeah.
It's just protruding, and then when he smiles, you just see it just itching out on his teeth, and you go, "That's a football coach right there."
Yeah, big time ball coach. A guy that likes to get W's. A guy that does get W's, right?
I mean, unlike Herb in the NFL.
Herb didn't get W's in the NFL. Lee, what are we talking about?
I said unlike Herb in the NFL.
Oh, unlike Herb. Okay, I misheard.
Yeah, unlike Bill in college, Chapel Bill, who we'll get to later.
Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah, Vrabel cut from a different cloth. Although he technically would be considered the Belichick tree.
No,
maybe old Bill. That ain't new Bill. And so,
bro, that was just a good football game. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen, the great player, but just watching the Patriots and golly, they had some dumb penalties, but just watching them play football, and it just looked like it was just physical football. Prayers to Antonio Gibson, who got lost for the season in that game.
Yeah, oof, yeah, tough. Antonio Gibson,
boy.
Georgia boy too, by the way. He went to the same high school as Mr. Turner.
Yeah, shout out to his sister too. Cool peoples.
Yeah. But as I had mentioned before, we did get the Broncos-Eagles pick right, and I called it Dog of the Week Broncos. Yeah, I didn't like the matchup for the Eagles based on everything that coming into the season are coming out of those first 4 games that we saw. They got outgained in every game. The game prior to that, they had no passes completed in the second half. And then this week, it seemed like they kind of overcompensated for it. They were up 2 touchdowns, at one point in the game, and they blow it. And if I'm not mistaken, I was headed into the fourth quarter, and they blow the game. So when you look at this type of stuff, you break it down from what's going on internally, which with them, that stuff is kind of public. They're making it public. You see that, and then you see what you do see on the football field in a couple of last-second wins. Should have lost the Dallas game if CeeDee Lamb could catch. Should have lost the Rams game if big Jordan Davis didn't do what Jordan Davis does at Georgia, but doing it for the Eagles. I could have lost the game to the Eagles too. I mean, to the Chiefs as well. Realistically, if Travis Kelce doesn't, pop the ball up and it turns into a pick, they could have possibly lost that game. So it's not that and Saquon Barkley has not been Saquon Barkley this season, which nobody talks about that. We talk about Derrick Henry and his struggles. Nobody's talking about the idea that Saquon hasn't really gotten off yet.
Well, I think there's a few things. And to start with Saquon not being Saquon, what people are saying is that offensive line isn't that offensive line. Lane Johnson's a year older. He's dealing with some stuff. Dickerson's not healthy. They had to replace well, they got a brand new right tackle.
They still got Jordan Mailata though, right?
Yeah, you still got Mailata over there. So point being is that the offensive line isn't offensive lining, and that's what made them so great, is that they were a team driven by their offensive line. Yes, Saquon
I think it's coordinators.
I was getting there.
Okay, my bad.
Then we got a brand new coordinator who's learning how to play call because he hasn't play called before. He hasn't coordinated, and he also didn't have the experience. I was listening to Dominic Foxworth and Jeff Saturday talk about this on Foxworth's pod today. And they talked about when what's my man's name? Kellen Moore was there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he can go into the meeting room and say, "Hey, I was brought here to fix y'all's offense. Let me cook." Like I got a track record of what I did in Dallas to let people know, hey, Kellen Moore can call plays. He's had successful offenses, right? But the new coordinator, what credibility does he have? What has he done? And then you have Nick Sirianni, a Super Bowl winning coach, Jalen Hurts, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Saquon Barkley, a damn near record setting Hall of Fame track running back. AJ Brown, some would say a top 5 receiver in the league, and then you have Devontae Smith, who we don't even know where he kind of ranks in the league because he's not a number one, but he's good enough to be a number one. He's just on a team with AJ Brown.
He's a
So,
$30 million receiver.
yeah, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner, like and when we see the plays, he's him, right? So you have all of these players who have more clout than the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could be a part of the problem. And one last thing I took away from their podcast and the breakdown, Foxworth talked about them having a more opportunistic offense in this Denver game, and he said, "Hey, they may lose some games that they could win playing this way, but it could set them up in the long term to be a better team
Mm-hmm.
because they can't play the way that they played last year. So now it's playing through. Did it again. It's playing in this style throughout the season to work the kinks out, so they'll be ready for the playoffs."
And look, and that very well could be, because at the end of the day, isn't it about playing your best ball later on in the season? And that's what they did last year. They started 2-2, and everything kind of turned around. After they beat the Saints in week 4, that was week 4. They were 1-2 headed into New Orleans. And remember, New Orleans was 2-1. They were hot those first 2 weeks. Then we beat them. We beat them on a game-winning field goal. And that was a battle. Like, Saquon had a big game, and that was the breakout. They didn't lose again, sans the game where they had the backups in. They lost one of those, but they basically didn't lose again. So, I think it's not time to panic or anything for Philly. And let's give Denver credit, too. That's probably the best defense in the NFL. And we know that Sean Payton is, as we've seen here, is a master play caller. We might hate him, him doing that to Devontae Freeman. I think, that one year that was Justice's fantasy team name. It was Sean Payton yelling choke. He did that the year after the Super Bowl, obviously. It's just like, fuck you. So let's give Denver credit, too, for being a solid football team. I mean, they're 3-2 for a reason. They do a lot of things well, and they don't beat themselves. So, I guess they kind of did against the Colts, but
Sean
that was a
Payton,
mulligan.
man. Yeah, shout out to Sean Payton, man. He's a great coach and
Wow,
great coach.
Never thought I'd hear you say that.
I wouldn't hate him if he was trash.
Yeah,
I don't have
Sean Payton.
I mean, I don't have thoughts on Jim Haslett. You know what I mean? I didn't have thoughts on Ra until he became our coach.
Yeah.
I don't have thoughts on my God, who else can I talk about? What's my man's name? John Fox, and I know he got Carolina to a Super Bowl, but like nobody cares about John Fox or what's my man's name? Riverboat Ron Rivera. Care about those people?
Yeah, Dave Canales.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dave Canales was what, 2-1 against the Falcons? Now he's starting to put fear in my heart.
He didn't put fear in my heart. At the end of the day, Bryce Young will probably be benched by the time we get to. He's not going to be benched. They actually, they had that comeback win against the Dolphins this week. And this is the worst part about it. We're on bye week. We're like, okay, Dolphins, Panthers. We're like, okay, Seattle, Tampa, which was game of the week, by the way. Yeah. And then Saints, Giants. And we're like,
everybody can lose.
Somebody's going to lose. Right. There's going to be at least 2 teams that lose here, I would think. That none of them were favored except the Saints. So it felt like a loss that week because everybody gained ground on us. Carolina's got
bro.
as many wins as us. New Orleans is a game and a half. I mean, game and a half, but you know what I'm saying? They're still there. And then Tampa padded their lead with a comeback victory against a tough place to play, and they were undermanned. No Bucky Irving. So it was tough from that standpoint for us this week because all three teams in the division won. But let's talk about that Tampa game real quick. Baker's got to be the front. I know he's not in Vegas, but to me, in my eyes, if you got some money, I'd pepper a little bit on Baker to win MVP at this point.
He has comeback victories. He has the stats. He has the touchdowns. He's not throwing.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. They're winning
checks all
games.
The boxes.
Yeah, and then he has Emeka Egbuka emerging as offensive rookie of the year. You can go ahead and just
and potentially second team All Pro.
I mean, you know, there are some people in this world who bought into the Tampa Bay offense this year.
Yeah, well, we know. And look, it's got you at 4-1, just like them, right?
Yeah, and there's some people in the world who just believe that, hey, Tampa's good.
They are good. They made the playoffs. They won the division 4 years ago.
Yeah, if Emeka Egbuka is who we say he is, they're going to be really fucking good. And our week 1 loss to Tampa, like the Carolina game really screwed us. And I'm going to get back to this game. Because that week 1 loss to Tampa, although it was at home, was not a bad loss. I'm like, we lost a close game to a really good team.
Where we kind of beat ourselves. We had the lead in the last 2 minutes. We gave up the lead, had a chance to tie it, didn't. And people lost their jobs because of it. And it put pressure on people to lose their jobs before the Commanders game.
Yeah,
ultimately.
but then we get 30 pieced by fucking Carolina. And so
blanked.
So you think of us, that's who we are, and a team that beat, the Vikings without a competent quarterback.
A 3-2 Vikings team, though.
Yes, and then Washington without Jaden Daniels. It's like blah blah blah. But we're closer to Tampa than we are to Carolina, believe it or not.
Yeah, and this Monday.
But I sound like Cal Hurt saying that the score of the game doesn't matter.
It does, but at the end of the day, in this Monday, we get to prove that, though. They can silence anyone that Rich Eisen had us after the Vikings game in his top 10. You know, it had been a minute, man, since I've heard the Falcons on anyone's list for anything. So, like, they have a chance to catapult back into it. And the sucky part is if we win, unless Bijan has some video game type game, the talk is going to be what's wrong with the Bills, not a, man, the Falcons might be pretty fucking good. It's going to be a what's wrong with the Bills because that's just the way the narrative is going to be because it's Josh Allen. And so
I want us to beat them by a solid 10.
Yeah.
And I don't want I want to get I want to force punts. You know, I don't want them to miss field goals or Josh to turn the ball over, fumble. I don't want that. I want us to play good defense and beat them. Make big plays and then also sustain drives. You know, just look like the better team. I don't want, even if they're great turnovers, I don't want 2 strip sacks and a pick. Because then it becomes what's wrong with Josh Allen.
Yeah, Bills Mafia has a great fan base. They're great fans, by the way. I got to experience it when I went.
Niggas scared.
No, I'm just saying I got to experience it when I went to Orchard Park 4 years ago for a game. Got to do a keg stand with them. As a matter of fact, had a couple of Bills fans that have actually reached out to me. My cousin is a Bills fan, and she travels for the games. Going to link up with her before the game. And then also our former banker, she reached out to me. She's from they're both from up there. That's why they're fans. But which is kind of my point. Can we please make this an 80-20 game, Atlanta? Can we please not let them come into the house and take over? That still is West New York. You know what I'm saying? That ain't. But I'm just saying it's not a major city, so it ain't a lot of people from Buffalo that just live in Atlanta. And even though Bills Mafia is strong, I'm sure there's a Buffalo Bills bar in Atlanta somewhere. But
there was one in San Diego.
Yeah, so I'm sure that they have that type of a fan base. But the reality of it is, anyone, if it's a ton of people wearing Bills stuff, they probably flew down. And if they flew down and you sold, that means you sold your tickets. That's what that says to me. And so, and I get it. Look, I couldn't resist a payday either. I'd love to get a couple grand for some tickets. That'd be great. But like at the same time, let's not have this thing look this way. On Monday night, it should be, we're wearing the red. It should be a red out, a blackout. It should be, it should show that we're there. You know what I mean? New England and Buffalo play every year, and it was a whiteout for their game. It didn't mean nothing, but like, still, I didn't see barely any Patriots fans at that game. And that's a division rival that's not too far from Boston. So,
hey, what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
The pride and joy of exit 288.
Oh, the Monday Night Miracle?
Yeah, Mr. 30120 himself. Mr. Duval.
Coach of the Year?
Mr. If at first you don't succeed, you get back up and try it again. You know what I mean?
Coach of the Year?
Fall down twice, get up 3. Yeah. Most definitely him going Coach of the Year. Shout out to the Jags for proving to us what we thought about the Chiefs 2 years ago and what they showed us last year, but it didn't play out, but kind of what Philly's going through right now. And now we're seeing it this year.
Yeah. We called this a minute ago. We were wrong. They won the Super Bowl that year. Then they went back the next year. But look, God damn it, we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
But think about it. The year they won the Super Bowl, they weren't covering.
It was the defense that year.
Yeah.
That was the strength of the team.
Then last year, they were winning all these one-score games. 15
because other teams were fucking themselves, though. The Bengals, Pat PI. Our game, we had 2 4th down chances in the red zone, and we couldn't convert them. Which, I mean, shout out to their defense, I guess. But yeah, that boy from Cartersville.
But like we saw it. We saw it coming, and they were still able to overcome it. So like when our prediction, our conclusion may have been wrong. Our final conclusion or our hypothesis was wrong. But what we were trying to speak towards based on the evidence that we were seeing is what we are finally seeing now. We just predicted it before it started to cave in, is all I'm saying.
No, absolutely. And look,
Patrick Mahomes throwing that pick 6 to Devin Lloyd, that doesn't happen.
No, not on the 1 yard line, not him running it back, because he was moving slow as shit. And I'm like, man, where's Jay Worthy? Where's Hollywood Brown? Why is nobody catching up to him to bring him down? But you start talking about you got the fastest receiver in the NFL on your side.
But Trevor gave him one when he fumbled on the 1 by trying to stretch the ball out, which you should never do. Bill Belichick teams don't do that. What would Bill do? Yeah.
Well, we know what Bill would do, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. He would ask for a buyout. But anyways, no, look, give them credit. Give Liam Cohen credit. He's doing it with what I don't think is honestly super talented team, or maybe we're just unfamiliar with the talent because they've been buried in the top 10, for almost a decade, aside from the Blake Bortles 1 year, but they've been buried in the top 10 for like a decade. So now these players are finally coming to fruition, even though Trey Walker didn't even play in that game. But this is give Liam Cohen his credit, and, kind of similar to when Nick Sirianni did his press conference and everybody kind of laughed at him. He won a Super Bowl. Everybody laughed at Liam Cohen because of the way he said Duval and started smirking afterwards. And everybody's like, man, these guys are about to get blown the fuck out. Now, I'm sorry. What's my man in Arizona?
Rich Gannon. Yeah.
Rich Gannon. No, it's not Rich Gannon.
Not Rich Gannon.
Coach Gannon.
Yeah, Coach Gannon.
Coach Gannon. Now, they look like that thing's about to blow up over there. And his press conference sucked, too, because he's doing the Jonathan
Gannon.
Yeah, and now that thing looks like it's about to blow up. He's getting $100,000 fines,
He
hitting
should have got his
players.
ass whooped. He should have got his ass whooped.
I mean, DeMarcado wants to play in the NFL.
Right. And because DeMarcado wants to play in the NFL, because of power dynamics, because of how the coach is the authority figure, and we'll excuse an authority figure crossing the line more than we will the person who looks up to the authority figure. But in all reality, Jon Gannon knew he could get away with that on the sideline, but he would have never have done that shit in the facility if the media's not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would have done that in the meeting room. He wouldn't have got like face to face with him in the watching film with the team. Where ain't no cameras in here.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with it. I understand it. Coaches teach things, and I bet you because of what happened in the Colts game, they made that a point of emphasis. They probably made that a huge point of emphasis. So for that to happen, when we know this ices the game, I can understand the coach being upset enough to react the way that Jon Gannon did, right? I don't want anybody to think me shitting on him for doing this is me acting like that I'm above it. No. You can be that upset. And it shows me that you care. It shows me that you want to win. I want that fire in my coach. But in my head coach, I want a level of restraint to be able to look at the moment and properly identify where I need to inject myself. This kid's head is down. He knows he's fucked up. He probably doesn't need to be yelled at right now because he's still got to get out here and play. He's with his teammates and they're picking him up. And for you to come over there and do the yelling thing, and then you hit him in his chest, and then when you walk off, you bump him. Hey, dog. Don't bump me when you're walking away.
And we got a complete 180 in the Patriots Bills game, because as soon as Ramondre Stevens fumbled for the fourth time in as many games, they showed Mike Vrabel come over there, encourage him, pick him up. He scores 2 touchdowns because obviously, Gibson goes down with the knee injury on a kick return. But and then after the game, they interviewed Ramondre Stevens and they asked him, they said, "What did Coach Vrabel say to me?" He said, we're going to need you. We still got a lot more football left to play.
Yeah.
He breathes it into his players. Then they show him after the game. I was watching on Peacock. After the game, he waits for all the guys to come in and he daps them up. As they go into the tunnel, he waits for them and he daps all those guys up, win or lose. And so that's just the difference between being a coach and being a guy that got a coaching job. And so it just, it is what it is, but that's the point though. Not everybody's fit to be a head coach. And look, I know Jonathan Gannon hates it. He probably saw Cliff got that nice ass mansion out there. It was like, man, I want that for me. And I hope he got it, but he won't have it for long. See, Cliff knows that he's going to get another job. Jonathan Gannon's not the type of guy. He's a one and done type of guy. Not 1 year and done, obviously, but a one and done. He won't be a head coach again in this league.
He'll be at DC if he's lucky.
Look, it took our coach, Radio Raheem, 15, 16 years to get back to that position?
Yeah, and he waited too long. I'm not even saying if he was good enough. He waited too long.
Yeah, considering he was the youngest head coach in NFL history.
He was the youngest head coach in NFL history, and he did have early success in Tampa.
He had that 1 year, but
that's early success.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like 3-13 the other two. I don't know, but
I mean, it's not like he had.
And they didn't make the playoffs. Remember, on that 10-6. Them and the Bears missed the playoffs that year at 10-6.
Yeah.
Him and old Lovey.
Is there anything else from last week you want to talk about?
I think we pretty much covered all the bases.
All right.
Baseball pun for everybody that didn't get it.
Real quick, can we get Gronk off of my TV?
Lee, you are a professional muter anyways. Every time I text you about any football game, it seems like I got to mute it. And mainly, I guess it's mainly just Thursday night, but No, you do Chris. You be muting Chris too.
Bro,
And
I'm
so
muting everybody. I watched the game.
you don't like
And I don't
hearing what
watch it.
Tarico's got to say. You don't like hearing what
I,
Al's got to say.
so I'm not gonna lie to you. Sunday I did listen to the game. I thought when the guy got the ball and ran, Tarico commentating that was some of the funniest TV I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of pregame shows. I don't watch a lot of postgame shows.
Uh-huh.
I don't really care for the analysis that they give there. I don't think it's great analysis. And
Yeah.
outside of Jay Glazer popping on before the show to drop a Woj bomb, it adds very little value for me. Uh, but anytime I hear Gronk, I'm just like, why?
Why did I just
What?
hear Gronk?
Yeah, you can't allow Terry to correct you on saying an African name. Because if we know anything, Terry, out of anybody on that set, would struggle the most with saying Emeka Ibuka. And if it wasn't serious and it was a joke, bad fucking joke.
Yeah, get that grown man's name right. Especially he's a grown man that's balling. You know, it's not Stephen A saying Kwame Brown.
But even
You
that
know,
is disrespectful. You know what I mean? And like Kwame
well, and
Brown,
Kwame makes it known. I mean,
yes.
Ibuka's not gonna do it. He's Rook or whatever. He's saying fuck Gronk, stupid ass. And Gronk's a former Buck too. You know, nobody. I don't look at him that way, but he still did play there.
Yeah, and he won a Super Bowl there. But like, what if I see you? What if I see you one day? You know what I mean? And I check you because, hey, bro, you playing with my name. I've been him too long for you not to know my name.
Right.
I'm not Puka Nakua. I didn't come out of nowhere, and only the people who were tapped into college football, more specifically Pac-12 football, knew who Puka was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm a Emeka Ibuka who was in the best college wide receiver room ever, and people were saying I was the best one in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you remember before he was getting burned, this guy Emeka Ibuka, they say he might be the best one here. And then, Maserati Marvin's going crazy. And then the next year we see Emeka and we like, oh shit. Oh
Man,
shit.
well, we got introduced to Emeka Ibuka. They played in the Rose Bowl that one year. It
He
was
played corner.
huh?
You talking about when he played corner?
No, Emeka Ibuka.
Oh no, he went. I'm tripping. He didn't play corner.
He went. There's a word I want to use, and I'm not going to use it. You know exactly what word. He went that. And the thing is that
what, ape shit?
Yeah, let's go with ape shit. He went ape shit. He had like 270 yards and like 4 touchdowns in that game. It's like a Rose Bowl record. And that was when I got introduced to him because that was the year Garrett Wilson and somebody else, they sat the game. Yeah, they sat because obviously they knew they were first round picks. They're like, man, fuck this game. We're not in the playoffs. And yeah, him, Maserati Marv, and I think it was Fleming. I forgot who the other one was, but they went stupid in the game. They won the game. They scored a ton of points. And so, yeah, it's insane.
And you know
We've got to get Gronk off TV.
I forgot last year with Ibuka because of what's my man's name, the receiver they got there now? Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. Oh,
then they had Jeremiah Smith last year, so he like took a lot of the shine away from Ibuka because that nigga's like Julio.
Well, you let Joe Clack tell it. He said that there's a lot of guys that get comparisons. He said I think he's going to be in that pantheon with the Jerry Rice is what he's saying.
I think it's irresponsible to say stuff like that, even if it's true.
Put him in the conversation with the GOAT, huh?
I mean, would you even put him in a conversation with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase?
I can't put any guy that I haven't seen play. There's certain guys, if I see them play in person and I say something, yeah, but I haven't seen them play in person. And I know it's like, well, what difference does it make? You saw it on TV. It makes a big difference when you see some shit in person.
No, no. Trey Young is a much better basketball player if you've watched him in person.
Correct.
Like the 25 and 12 is there, and if we being real, really is like more so like 30 and 11. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get that, but when you watch how he gets it and orchestrates it during the game, and takes timely deep ass threes, even the misses, if you are actually there and in the arena, that shit makes way more sense than it does looking at the Josh score.
Yeah, and I had told you, granted, I don't know what's up with him, but after I had seen C.J. Stroud in person, I said, "Oh no!" I said, "He's that dude's real," because he's doing that against Georgia's defense. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
Bro, you want to know somebody who did that for me? I went to
who?
a Hawks OKC game, and
Mm-hmm.
SGA was out, and Giddy got to like run the show, and he had one of those like 20-point triple doubles.
Yeah,
But just every time you look up, you just watch Giddy just playing his game, and I'm like, yo, Giddy is nice.
Giddy was Diddy. He was getting what he wanted and how he wanted it.
But it turns
And
out
he
that
was saying,
like,
"Take that, take that."
but after All Star last year, Giddy averaged like 20, 10, and 9.
Diddy.
Yeah,
Look at that. We just did the double entendre with that. I know we were talking about entendres,
oh,
how you pulled off a triple.
bro, yo, some of my best shit. But yeah, get Gronk off my TV. And you know who else is gonna be off of our TV, Parlay Pete?
Who?
Mark Sanchez.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't forget about it, but we are doing the show. What were your thoughts on everything? Now that we've heard everything and we allegedly know what's happened.
Fuck Mark
See,
Sanchez.
Florio made a good point though, to where Mark Sanchez might have a little power over Fox though, because of all this, being that if he did come from a work event and that he does typically do this. Now, him and what he did with the dude, totally different thing. But the drinking aspect of it, if this is what they normally do, they're about to
Fox can't.
change the culture at Fox. And we know
Well,
that Fox, Shannon, all that stuff
yeah,
with
yeah.
Skip, man, they're in hot water overall, just with ethically how things are ran over there. And we know Rupert's not the one
And,
doing
but,
it
but
anymore.
but also Trump has sued Rupert.
So nobody likes Fox at this point.
Well, and but here's the thing: if Fox immediately fires Mark Sanchez, then they're liable in the lawsuit. Because why would you fire him?
Well, exactly. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. The idea that he's got that power over him to where he's basically going to be on paid leave is what it sounds like to me.
Right. But like I'll tell you what I went through when I first saw it. I was like, damn, Sanchez got stabbed. That's damn. Hope you're okay. But me being somebody who gets drunk and goes places, I'm like, what the fuck did he do? People don't get stabbed for no reason. Like when the Steelers backup quarterback got jumped and robbed in Dublin, it wasn't for it wasn't for no reason. He was either presenting himself in a place to be he was presenting himself too rich in somewhere where he shouldn't have been, or he was talking shit
Right.
and he got fucked up. And I'm saying this as somebody who goes outside. I've been in grimy places, I've been in upscale places. You have to carry yourself appropriately in each venue.
Yeah.
I don't wear my diamond earrings to every bar. Sometimes you want to blend in.
Yeah.
Even when so that's what I'm thinking. Then I hear he's arrested. I was like, oh shit, fuck this nigga do.
It sounds like a
And
bar
then you
fight.
get the yeah, and then you hear the story of nigga acting like he on like he on heroin. You know what I'm saying? It's not heroin, on dust.
Right.
He running laps in the alley,
Yeah.
jumping in niggas' box trucks, telling them where to park with your carrying ass. Hey, mind your business, boy. And then the man pepper sprayed you, which I found to be very weird. Man, why do you own pepper spray? But again, good to
69-year-old
have.
man though.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll never own pepper spray.
He's
And
69 though, and he's a truck driver.
cool, but I'll never own pepper spray.
I mean, I agree with you. At 69, I ain't gonna own no pepper spray. But I'm just saying,
Nah, nigga,
I'm not.
I'm gonna have the pepper sprayer. You know what I'm saying? And we shooting red hots out this motherfucker. It ain't no poker nut. Like Mark Sanchez lucky his ass is alive. Cause he could have got shot.
Right.
And in Indy, you can open carry in that motherfucker. You could have got shot. But you're lucky you wasn't in Texas doing that shit. You're lucky you wasn't calling an Atlanta game doing no crazy shit like that.
Right.
Boy, imagine him trying that shit in the city. And when them old niggas riding that box truck with that nice little 380 in there, ready to let something go.
Yeah. Look.
And they'll never find a pistol.
Yeah, and look, I just think that when you look at the situation again, shout outs to the guy because he's about to get a massive fucking payday. A massive payday.
And deserves every single cent.
And especially if his face is actually fucked up like permanently. So
bro, I don't give a fuck what it is. I was at work doing my job and you came and bothered me. Fuck you.
And fuck Fox too.
I'm not gonna say that because you know.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying that's what he's saying.
Okay,
Let me clean that up. I don't want anyone to
very clear
to take this video and make an AI video of me or something. I would hate for that to happen.
No, because Fox, if you ever want to do a grassroots Atlanta show, we're your guys, okay?
Absolutely. FS1, they need something new.
Yeah, some of that money you're saving with Mark.
Just get at your boy. Holla at your boy.
Hey, we'll take a $30K salary year one and just put a marketing budget behind us.
Isn't that what Stephen A said? He was like, holla at your boy.
Man, fuck him.
I tell you what. Speaking of Stephen A, I know we're kind of going all over the place.
It's okay.
No, let's stay to football. We'll get to Steve. Steve's coming. Whoa.
Hey, but
New Kung Fu Kitty.
But at the end of the day, Mark Sanchez is an idiot. I was really hurt when I listened. So Chris Long talked about it, and he has a personal relationship with Mark, and he's going through something, and I don't care what he's going through. I've done drunk shit. I've blacked out before and woke up and found out things that I did, and some of those things I wasn't proud of. But I haven't done that. And I work on not blacking out so that I never put myself in that situation. And I think that's the biggest lesson to take away from this. For one, mind your own business. Two, drink responsibly. But also, if you're going to get fucking hammered, don't black out, dog. Like, because you can do some dumb shit blacked out, because I think as humans, people go, that's not in my character. That's not in my character. No. Yes, it is. I think all of us are capable of killing. I think all of us are capable of anything, right? So because you have the capability to do it, you never want to put yourself in a situation where you lose the ability to choose your actions.
Very, very well put. I mean, I couldn't put it any better, but we got a comment on here.
Ignore that. Cheap viewers at streamboo.com. Remove the space.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit ain't scam likely. But hey, leave that comment in. Keep leaving comments.
Could you imagine us being desperate to not want to organically grow this thing?
I mean, people do it. I mean, I've heard Russillo talk about people in the industry who buy followers.
I've heard it in hip hop media as well, just as they do with their records.
that a shot at somebody?
I didn't make it. Hey, we don't start rumors. We only bring them up.
Well, what's next? We're done with Sanchez. Oh shit, man!
Touch Flacco real quick.
Flacco got traded to the Bengals, and he's gonna start this week.
Let me get Green Bay. Let me get as many points as I can on them. They're still going to beat the shit out of them. No, it should open up the offense. Fantasy owners are rejoicing.
Yeah,
they're not going to win games, but like at least Jamar Chase and like T. Higgins and Chase Brown have life.
They got a chance.
They have a chance to be productive. They're still not going to win games. Like I don't think I would take Green Bay on the 14, which again we'll get to the picks later, guys. But like,
is that the line?
Yeah, the line's 14. It was 14.5, and like so. I don't think I'd lay that just because it's like, I mean, damn, I know quarterback is an important position in the NFL, but
these are professionals.
But that was before the Flacco trade. I haven't looked at it since. Matter of fact, actually.
But when you got Jamar Chase on the other team, I could never take 14 points against Jamar Chase.
Because it's still too many weapons to just be like, oh yeah, they're going to cover this with ease.
He can win a jump ball, somehow get both feet in bounds, not get tackled, and score for 60. You know what I mean? He can catch a little stopper out, shake a nigga, and score.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins is 6'5".
Right.
And 5.
And even not an important position. You know, their tight ends are still Gesicki and they got Noah Fant. Like these are talent. These are guys that have played football.
Hey, question for you.
Yes.
If T. Higgins and Devontae Smith, probably the two best number 2 receivers in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams doesn't count because he's old. Who would be the number 1 if they were in the same receiving core? Because they would actually be a solid receiving core together, but who would be the number 1?
And it's only because of age. I think T.
Okay.
And it's only, I mean, all you have to do is kind of look at Tay, his last 2 stops. So far with the Rams, Puka is
No, not Devontae Adams. I'm saying Devontae Smith.
Oh, give me T. Yeah, give me T.
I don't count Devontae Adams in the top number 2 receiver conversation because he is a older one. And he still gets one. He gets 1 target some games, like
and 1 treatment from defenders. Yeah.
Yes.
My bad. I thought you said Devontae Adams, but yeah, I'd take T over Devontae Smith too.
Hey, but real quick
not a slam dunk easy yes either, but I'd still take him over him.
Real quick on Puka, he really is getting number 2 treatment, ain't he?
Yeah. No, Puka's getting number 1 treatment. He's getting, I'm the best player in the NFL. I am fantasy football MVP treatment.
Yeah, but he ain't lining up at X.
Who cares? He's getting 13 balls for 160 and a touchdown. I mean, that's a lot of balls, man. 13?
New Kung Fu Kenny.
Come on, man.
Hey, so
that's not even an even number of balls. How does that work? If I say 13 balls,
you're into some freaky
6.
shit, man.
That's what's that? 7 dicks and one guy just moves his nuts out the way. Come on.
New Kung Fu Kenny.
You're the one that's setting this up. This is what I'm saying. 13 ball. It'd be one thing if it was an even number. It wasn't.
So with this Flacco trade, that means Dylan Gabriel is the guy in Cleveland. They saw enough Sunday, which I saw enough that says, hey, this guy can start for a few more weeks. He's good enough. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to get us over the top, but I mean, we're Cleveland. So now that puts Shedeur at quarterback 2. What do we think the future is for the Cleveland quarterback room?
That they'll continue to lose games, and even if Dylan Gabriel plays decent, that Shador will get a crack at it because they have to just know what they have. And then from there, if they like Dylan enough, he'll stay. Maybe Shador is the one that goes because they could maybe find somebody that would want to work on him or have him. Or if he plays well or whatever, maybe it's him. Or neither of them are the answer, and they, sign a Kirk Cousins or something and bring him in, especially if Stefanski's still there, because that would work. And he's the bridge for God. It won't be Arch. He's the bridge for whoever's going to be the next year guy. It's hey, what are we talking about? This is the Cleveland quarterback room. Are you kidding me? I don't have faith in anyone. Or who knows? Maybe 4 comes back. Some people that's been a rumor, by the way, that 4. That's what they call him on Twitter. There's like this Twitter page that everybody says is him. It's his burner because the person's always like 4 going to show him. If 4 comes back this season, there's rumors that 4 could come back this season. I think that they're going to want to see what Deshaun Watson can do because one way or another, he's cut after this year. And they're just going to eat the money. They're already eating the money. So it's like, what difference does it make?
4.
4.
F-O-R-E, right?
No, they just do they literally type out just the number.
Oh, we want to see 4 play.
Yeah.
We're calling for 4 play.
Yes. Yeah.
For 4-2 play, excuse me.
Yeah.
A
lot of dirty minds in this room.
Really quickly, as of now, that Jon Gruden discovery is coming out.
And what are your thoughts on that?
It's not coming out.
Why don't you think it's going to come out?
I think that people like Jerry Jones, who just got fined $250,000, will really see their true fuck yous.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL generates entirely too much money to get the fake blowback, and their sponsors would lose stock. Their stock would drop temporarily for all the fake blowback, even though everyone knows we're still going to watch football because we love football as a nation more than we love God and country.
Yeah, it's right behind those two things.
I think it's ahead of those things. Not in my life personally. I think football's, after committing my life to the country for 10 years, I think football is above country.
So it's not God, family, football? Or no, it's faith, family,
football. Yeah, they say that until you have like a family obligation or a faith obligation that interferes with football, and then it's a problem.
It's a problem, but at the end of the day, you're a grown man. You get to kind of still make your decisions.
I'm talking about when you're playing football.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, my faith comes before football.
Right.
Depends on who you are in my family will determine if you come before football. And some would say that I put football before them. Ooh, that's a dark joke.
Ooh. Getting real dark in here, Lee.
But no, I hope that the discovery comes out. It really won't change my football fandom because I still support the players and the sport itself. And I'm not a person who ties my morals to all of my dollars. And if the trickle-down effects still go to the players who dedicated their lives to playing football and just happen to be caught up in a system that we may disagree with, I'm still comfortable knowing that some of my dollars go to Bijan Robinson's contract.
Well, Bijan, right?
No, it's Bijan again.
I know, because they did the Sunday night thing.
Yeah.
But, everybody was like, no, it's Bijan. And it's just like,
man, that nigga named Bijan, bro. He ain't with no Bijan. It's some shit he came up with it when he went to Texas to try to clean it up. You know good and damn well anybody's name who is Bijan is, if your name is spelled Bijan, your name is Bijan. Yeah. Even if your mama wanted you to be Bijan, everybody calls you Bijan.
Denzel, his name is Denzel, apparently. Denzel Washington's name is Denzel.
You talking
And
about fairy godparents?
yeah, I get the joke.
You know his name was Denzel Crocker.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah, okay.
kind of it looked like
Didn't
you
land.
glitched there a little, Lee. I mean, you very got there. It was
Uh,
crazy.
oh, it didn't land.
No, it landed. I said I get where you're coming from, but yes, ha 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 ha. Yes. That he did an interview and he literally said that his dad's name was Denzel, or his dad's name was Denzel, and he's a junior, which I didn't know that he was a junior, but he's a junior, and whenever the mom would say Denzel, they would both look, and so to distinguish it, she said, "You're Denzel, you're Denzel," and that it just kind of stuck from there, even though his name is really pronounced Denzel. Same thing with the Kelsey brothers. Their last name is Kelson, not Kelsey.
But their coaches called him Kelsey, and it stuck.
I don't know the story behind why theirs is pronounced wrong, but it would be like if I didn't go by Pierce.
What would you go by?
I don't know. I wouldn't let anyone. I mean, people call me Pete. Obviously, that's whenever I order takeout. It's so much easier to just do that because if I spell my name, I know they're going to pronounce it wrong. So it's like it just is all.
How,
And then my brother Blair, may God rest his soul, he came up with the nickname Pete. He would just call. He said, "What's going on, Pete?" So
how,
it kind of just stuck.
how do they pronounce your name when you spell it?
I get Pierce. I get Pyrus. I've gotten Paris before. I mean, I get a lot of stuff. Never Pierce for whatever reason.
My phone calls you Paris.
Yeah,
No,
so I get it
Pirates.
all. And, a
Uh,
substitute teacher loves to see my name coming. Does. They're like, all right, I can fuck this one up as much as I want. They do.
I know. Oh shit. Speaking of substitute teachers, do we need to substitute the fucking preseason polls out? Because I don't think they have value anymore with the transfer portal. Um, you don't really know who is really who because teams aren't bringing the entire team back. And then teams have these elevated expectations, and other teams have to struggle to get to move up in the polls simply because of where we rank teams and how we value these wins and losses. When
Right.
ultimately we don't know anything, and in the professional leagues, the polls don't matter. You know, the wins and losses do. And maybe we should move towards that model also in college football since we're turning it into to semi-pro football.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could say that. But there's a big difference, obviously. Now with college football, they want to approve betting and stuff. You know, that's what's going on in college football.
Hey, yeah, real quick, that's some bullshit. How the fuck can they bet on themselves? Are
I
we
don't.
that fucking greedy?
Yeah, we are that greedy because it's at the point where, and obviously that the clip or the excerpt or whatever on Instagram we got, it didn't really break down what that meant. I'm gonna assume it means on other sports
I don't
like
care.
the NFL and stuff like that, but like it is still just worrisome because it's going on. It's going on right now in reality.
Oh yeah. Niggas that move
But at
out.
least it's because it's so regulated and you're seeing players get popped, whether that's pros or college. Because if you saw, there were a bunch of college basketball guys that got popped for this. There's like 5 of them. We've seen the documentary of the kid that went to Arizona State and how they ended up getting caught for it back in the 90s. Again, Terry Rozier and Malik Beasley, who's got some
Are
interest from the
innocent.
Cavs.
Yeah, hey, and neither guy has been found guilty of anything. They've just been investigated.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, innocent. They are innocent.
Yeah, sure. Tell that to the judge.
Hey, if the judge says they're guilty, then I'll call them guilty. But I don't even like saying innocent until proven guilty. I say innocent because that's what it is.
Surely. Uh, But yeah, we should just throw out these preseason rankings.
Yeah, I just think they're shit because then you create these expectations, and then Arch Manning is out here looking like somebody who might need to get benched, but his last name's Manning, and you can't bench him. But can you bench him? Should you bench him, or should you let him like play through it and be better for next year? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
Sark's job isn't on the line this year.
No.
It should be. He should be talked about in the same light as James Franklin, because I know that that's the reason why this is a topic for us, because both of those teams lost this week. Now, James Franklin's was inexcusable. I don't care what you say. They played against a team that even on their best day shouldn't be able to hang with Penn State, especially a Penn State coming off of a loss.
Well, cross-country travel, it was a road game.
Sure. So?
Hey, I listened to Cowherd and Klatt talk about this. Klatt said that Aller was the best player for Penn State on Saturday. And their offensive scheme is bad for him, so that's why he's not playing well. And Cowherd tried to give Penn State a pass because they had to cross country travel and they're kids.
Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I chalk that up to a lack of want to, and then a lack of coaching. I mean, there's so many different angles you could take, and you are getting a UCLA team that was desperate. They were very desperate, but it was also new, leadership. Yeah. And also, shame on you, CBS, for showing the offensive coordinator more than the head coach. And I'm not making this a race thing or anything, because it's not a race thing. But they kept showing the white offensive coordinator the entire game. And I get it. He's calling the plays. Nico is out there looking like Bryce Young at Bama Heisman year. That's what he looked like. But that was not the – why are we showing the OC so much? They showed the OC the entire game. Then they showed him getting carried off. And I get it. He's a former UCLA quarterback himself.
His dad's Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah, which Rick was in studio. They're showing him tear up with the CBS cast.
Hey, bro, he's the offensive play caller. This nigga ain't even the head coach. What the fuck we tearing up for? This ain't his first fucking win.
Yeah.
Why is he all over social media? See, I didn't even know that the head coach was black. I just didn't know who the fuck he was because they ain't showing him.
Well, and let's not turn this into a Joe Brady, Ed Orgeron type of ordeal, right? Joe Brady was getting sucked so hard. And look, that offense was maybe the greatest we've ever seen in college football. Joe Brady, think about it. People were talking about Joe Brady getting he was a passing game coordinator. And they were talking about this man getting head coaching jobs in the NFL.
But what people didn't realize was that offense had a top 5 quarterback in the NFL the day he showed up, and 2 top 5 receivers in the NFL the day they showed up.
Yeah.
And they were just playing in college.
Yeah.
So now we've seen what Joe Brady is now that he has Josh Allen. Holy shit, you give him a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a big willie all of a sudden.
But you give him talent, average talent, meh.
Well, Joe Brady, he's in Buffalo right now, right?
Yeah. But remember, he was in Carolina as the OC.
Yeah, it didn't go very well.
And what he had Sam Darnold and Baker, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. With Matt Rule under the helm, though. But nobody's going to look at Joe Brady and say, "Oh, Joe Brady was the problem," which gets back to the Neuheisel thing. But
but while we're here on Joe Brady, Sam Darnold and fucking Baker Mayfield are playing some good fucking football.
Yeah, Baker's in line to maybe, not even maybe, if he keeps it up the rest of the year, he's going to take over the top. He's going to be the highest paid player in the league.
Yeah, and he's an MVP candidate. Like, he and Dak are killing shit.
That boy Dak, man, let me tell you, I was trying to I was going to make an offer to Matt because Matt's benching Dak and is starting Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford's playing pretty well too. But, like, yeah, I'm like, whoa.
But yeah, Arch isn't playing well, and I think it's okay. He doesn't have experience. People forget that good players struggle even when they're on good teams.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow wasn't good his first year at LSU. Like I think we're getting to a point in sports where we're expecting immediate success because we see it from good players.
Yeah.
We see it regularly, but I still don't think that should be the standard. Because back to Baker Mayfield, back to Sam Darnold, these guys are playing to the level to which they're getting paid, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
And it took them a while. Sometimes it takes a minute. Everybody doesn't show up day one killing shit. But we shouldn't be so quick to move on or fire just because we're not killing shit.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. But to kind of wrap up, I guess, the college aspect of this, yeah, I don't think getting rid of can you really get rid of it? Can you get rid of it? No. It's just like 5-star recruits and stuff. DJ Uyunglele is not, I guess he's the third stringer out there in LA, but like top quarterback in his class that year. And he was with nothing but guys that are pros that are all starting. And you can't get rid of rankings, but at the end of the day, they don't have to mean anything. Yeah. And Vegas is the biggest sucker for it more than anything. Well, we as the consumer to Vegas is the biggest sucker because you goddamn right I took that Penn State 23.5. And then by halftime, I literally took UCLA money line because I said, I've got to save myself. And I did. They came back. I mean, they stayed ahead and never relinquished the lead. But, like, as soon as they were down 20, UCLA was still plus 110 at halftime. I said, we can get UCLA. Because I'd seen enough. I've already seen it. And I was like, there's no way they dropped this game to them. I said, it's James Franklin.
Well, speaking of coaches and dropping games, look like Bill Belichick's ready to just drop a whole school.
Well, he knows that he's already set up his son to be the successor, and you know how that's going to work. If Bill ends up leaving, especially in the middle of the season, that contract is probably set up to where he has the interim tag this year. If Bill were to leave this year, interim tag this year, then he has 1 year next year, then they fire him immediately.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to fire him immediately, and they're going to get Lombardi's ass out of there. They're going to say, you people aren't football people. You know what I mean? Like,
they're going to send Lombardi back to the podcast?
Yeah, man, he'll be on Visa. Getting to talk about, how the Falcons are just a fucked up organization. That's what's going to happen.
You know what? Lombardi's lost credibility as a media guy now. I mean, because like when he was in Cleveland and shit didn't work, you can be like, "Hey, man, it's Cleveland. It's hard to make shit work in Cleveland." You know.
You want to know who Lombardi is?
Who?
Lombardi is consequence to Bill Belichick's Kanye.
Tell me more.
So you saw the clip when Michael Shea got up on Kanye or whatever after the Red Hat thing on SNL.
Yeah.
But Consequence is a guy. Consequence gets on. Consequence is a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, know who he is.
Yeah.
He's probably the most loyal nigga to Kanye. Like, out of everybody.
Yeah. Not even close.
But that's what Lombardi is. He's the last of the Mohicans when it comes to this thing. He's the last guy. Nobody really associates with Bill anymore. If we're being honest, nobody does. He's got his 23, 24-year-old girl. He's out here selling hope to bad players.
Matty P went to Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. And obviously, what's his face went back with Vrabel to New England. So it's like
Daniels.
Yeah.
McDaniels doesn't want to touch college.
Man, let me tell you something. McDaniels is going to continue to collect a check as an OC because he's not going to get a head coaching opportunity again. He's another one of those guys that was a coordinator, and he got a second chance. he will never be a head coach again. Not in
No,
the
he
NFL, he won't be.
no he's an offensive coordinator, and I think
And it's
he's
crazy because he has so much shelf life to where realistically he could still be a head coach again, but like it just isn't going to happen because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
But also, like all the media coming out of that year in Las Vegas, and then having Devontae Adams on receivers, and just some of that stuff, and then him and Max Crosby on the podcast. It's like
Yeah.
they put the stink out on him to the players.
Yeah, and I just think overall,
Is the Belichick tree finally withering up and dying?
Oh, brother, it's already dead.
Kind of like Molly and ESPN.
Some would say, yeah, sure, why not, right? Molly at ESPN will, it's crazy because when you start losing legs off of a show or anything for that matter, it slowly but surely falls apart. And maybe this could be the beginning of the end for First Take. Not because Molly's that important, but normally when a show gets taken down more and more and more, it does wither away, kind of like the Belichick tree. And that's what I think is going to ultimately end up happening. And that's why they're moving Steve around. I mean, they're making Steve earn his money, but they're moving Steve around. Why is Steve Smith on my Monday Night Countdown?
Because you watch.
Well, because they know that I'm not going to turn it off because he's on there. Because they know that I'm there to watch the game. I'm ready to hear Joe and Troy. And I'm not fazed by Stephen A. Smith when it comes to it. But it's like, my goodness, I have to hear him talk about the game in the morning, potentially in the afternoon. Then I have to hear him again at night. Then when basketball starts, I'm going to hear him every night. Because whenever ESPN has a game, I have to listen to all of it. And so...
Hey, Parlay Pete, don't forget when you're scrolling on IG, he's going to go viral on the Stephen A. Smith show. So you're going to get that too.
Yeah. Oh, and then, if I say, you know what, I'm done with sports, let me turn to CNN. Let me turn to Fox News. Then it's Steve again. And it's just like, is Steve Smith trying to be God? Is he trying to be omnipotent, omnipresent at all times in the media? Is he that guy now?
I mean,
you might see Steve Smith as much as you see Donald Trump.
Yeah, bro. I saw Steve Smith talking about Jasmine Crockett.
But why?
I saw Steve Smith talking about Jimmy Kimmel and pretty much saying, hey, Donald Trump is watching all his enemies. You better fall in line. It's like, when I wake up every morning, I think about making my bosses money. Oh, that's crazy, Steve. That's insane, bro. That's some Kenny type shit, man. You wake up in the morning thinking about how to make another man money, huh? Like, would you say you from Hollis, Queens, would you go uptown to Harlem and say that to Dame Dash to his face? Like, what would Dame Dash say to Steve Smith of ESPN if he told him I wake up every morning thinking about how to make my bosses more money?
That's a good question. Nobody knows what Steve does in Hollis, Queens. We just know he's from Hollis, Queens.
Allegedly.
Well, right. Well, if you let Whitlock tell it, we don't know anything about Steve Smith. We don't know where he played ball. We don't know anything about the guy.
But we do know that he no longer wanted Monty Querim on the show.
And rightfully so, for what it's worth. I mean,
I don't think she added $500,000 in value to ESPN.
Well,
ABC.
And that's why that first show afterwards, he said, I'm hosting. Because Steve is probably like, give me that $500K.
He already took it.
Yeah.
When he signed his contract, they said, hey, Stephen A., here's the list of people we can fire. Here's the list of people that we will fire. And these are the people that are gone already. Now, you can take from the can fire and take off some of the will fire.
Shannon opened up a little bit of money for us.
Yeah, Shannon. Yeah, yeah. Shannon helped us out,
You
and
know,
at the end of the day, he says that he's the one who makes these decisions of who's going to be on first take. So at the basic level, if he really wanted Molly Querim there, he makes enough money, and he's given money back before.
right,
Out his work's not mine. That if he really wanted Molly there, she would be there. But again, they said she wanted to pay raise. This is reported she wanted to pay raise from her $500,000 annually, and she wanted an expanded role on ESPN. But for the people again, Molly get paid, young nigga get paid. But you don't provide $500,000 in value, and based on what you do on first take, nothing about that says I want to utilize you in an expanded way on this platform.
right.
That's just personally. Like I'm and maybe because she didn't display her chops as more than just a moderator, we don't know. Maybe maybe they should have gave her some mop up sports center duty on the weekend
Yeah,
to maybe getting her anchor back, because maybe that was there for. But based on the way that she was positioned as a moderator, I don't think her personality and the analysis that I have heard from her plays well into a different role. Like, what, you gonna put her in Malika's place? No.
nah, they weren't gonna do that. Because they just remember they read up Malika too. So whatever they're giving her, which I have to imagine is more than what they offer Molly, of course, because she does more to a
And
degree
she's younger.
and hotter.
I don't think that matters.
I think it does. And then her and Dave are a team. If Dave goes, she goes. You know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Then
yeah.
again, I don't know if you saw their wedding, but it all makes sense. I'll leave it at that.
We can talk off mic about that one.
I'm just saying. I mean, we saw what kind of wedding it was. I'll leave it at that.
I didn't see it. I didn't even know they were married. I thought they were still engaged.
Okay, well, just take a look, see, and see. I know you're bullshitting, but
No, I'm so
you know.
serious.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what. Let's take a look at what type of school. Look at Malika's background,
oh no,
and same
I've seen her
same with
back.
Dave's background, and they've got something in common, and it's a part of their wedding.
Oh, maybe a religion.
You said it, not me.
Got you. Not even. I don't need to look anymore. Let me not talk too much.
There are
Sorry,
people
Derek.
that are always listening to us, right?
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to offend BB.
Um,
Hey, we
but
got
yeah, enough.
23 minutes left. We gotta push.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it here. We've got. Oh, well, let's get into Steve while we're still on him. Obviously, his thoughts on LeBron James, and is there any way you could maybe even pull that up just so we can get the
I
or
can get the audio.
do you
I
think Steve's got some copyrights on us?
look here. Steve doesn't care about us. Did I send it to you or to the group text?
He sent it to me.
Oh yeah, I got it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'll play. Let me turn this.
When they said that if you make a bad movie, typically you don't have a sequel. So if you look at the decision and the manner in which that was handled and the way it served to alienate folks back at that time, you would think that he wouldn't want to remind people of that, considering the heat he took from that. And unfortunately, he was tone deaf, and that's not the decision. That's not the path that he took. This was corny as hell. It was cringy. It was all of that. We know this. You're promoting an alcoholic beverage and trying to give people the impression that this could be your final season, that you might end up retiring. And so, one other person joked and they said, you know what, that's like Jordan. Compare that to Jordan saying, I'm back. What if he had said,
Hey, who
no,
thought LeBron was
I'm
retiring?
releasing you, and then it happened to be a Haynes commercial? What if it had been something like that? And
Obviously,
that's what
Steve.
this was the equivalent of. In the end, I don't
It's
understand why the
fucking
second
personal.
greatest player who ever lived, one critic said it, four-time champion, a four-time league MVP,
Four-time
one of the
champion.
greatest players who have ever lived,
You gotta give the accolades,
would
Steve.
would would stoop to trying to garner attention for himself with something other than trying to win a damn championship. I want to be
So now you
psyched out.
telling him how to get his money?
A Lakers gonna win. Lakers gonna be in the picture. That's what I care about. I don't give a damn about some Hennessy commercial,
Hen-
especially from him.
Hennessy
Matter of
cares
fact,
about it though.
if you play like garbage at any point in time when it really, really counts, I'm gonna think about the Hennessy commercial and wonder if you was drinking something before the game. I mean, that's what's gonna have me thinking about. I find those in.
I'm turning them off after that. Stephen A. Smith, that's some of the nastiest shit you've ever done on TV. Like that's some of the nastiest shit you've ever done on TV. For one, it's not it doesn't matter what you want LeBron James to promote. You don't own him. He doesn't work for you. Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't family. Y'all ain't cool. Him promote, like, don't get me wrong, I thought it was corny as hell too, but LeBron is corny. And if you know LeBron, you know LeBron is corny. So when I saw the decision too, I'm like, oh, here goes some corny ass shit. And then people like, oh, is he gonna retire? Like what I sent to you, I spelled out eye roll. I'm
Right.
like, nigga, and then it's Hennessy, and it's like, wow, selling the niggas liquor, huh?
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
LeBron. Like if Steve would have took that stance, like, hey, LeBron, you're supposed to be a positive role model for the black community, but meanwhile, you're out here peddling black stereotypes by telling the whole world to stop and listen to you talk about, like, promote a cognac brand that is associated with black culture. You know what, Stephen A. Smith, I would be right there with you, but you're not that nuanced of an individual, and you're gonna say, all I want to hear you talk about is winning basketball. Hey, LeBron James, big fan. I don't want to hear you promoting Hennessy, dog. I think it's nasty work. It was disgusting to make the whole world stop for you to promote some fucking Hennessy. It's so niggerish.
Right.
But Stephen A. Smith, and then to finally suggest that if they're not playing good, I'm gonna think of you, bro. What the fuck we doing now, dog? For one, you know that players play hungover because you've covered teams, and that's stuff that's
And
known but
plenty of
not
guys have
talked
come out and
about.
said that they were drinking before games.
Yeah, but that's not for you to say, media man. And then to even suggest that if LeBron's play, a nigga who's playing in year 23 at the age of 40, if LeBron sucks next year, it's okay. It's not because of the Henny. Yeah, the drop off from last year would be like, what the fuck? But who the hell do we expect to be good at 40 in year 25? You know what I mean?
Well, only the king himself.
Okay, Steve. Start calling you Parlay A. Smith, nigga.
Stevie.
Start calling you Parlay A. Smith,
Isn't,
man.
isn't that what Molly called him? Stevie?
I think at one point in time during their
Or
working
I
relationship.
know it was SA too, because the chick that claims that she dates Stephen A was like, she's using that to hang over his head, saying sexual assault. It is something crazy. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Stephen A.'s girlfriend had just popped out of nowhere, like around his contract time, and then she disappeared. We haven't heard from her again. Yeah.
Well, Steve had to, go. Ugh, he had to go.
She's not a real human being. She was AI.
What type of women do you think Stephen A gets?
Young Latinas.
Okay, so you don't think he's into the torta Latinas?
I think that he pays for Dominican women, and he doesn't.
Ah, okay.
I don't. I don't
He
think he's.
travels.
I just think he's a trick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what about Stephen A. Smith says good hang? And I may sound like a hater, but like nothing about his demeanor on air says he's a good fucking hang.
Yeah.
Would you want to hang out with Stephen A. Smith?
If it gets me on ESPN and he wants to
No,
take
no, no,
some
no, no, no,
juice,
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about professionally. I mean, good time.
no, I'd rather
Like,
hang out with that idiot Gronk.
like, does Ryan Clark say, "Hey, he's a good hang"?
Probably not. I mean, but you can catch Ryan Clark at the host office at the Aria, so we know what Ryan Clark likes to do.
But I think Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder make him seem cool, and he probably is cool, but he's not cool on air. and because he's not cool on air, I don't fuck with that shit. So even if you are a cool ass nigga, you ain't cool. If that makes any sense.
I tell you what, you rather get a beer with RG3 or get a beer with Stephen A.
Oh, RG3.
Just because he's a Heisman winner, right? Be like, yeah, man, I
Yeah,
had a beer with the Heisman winner.
yeah. Like I think RG3 is a weird nigga. I think he's a cornball brother, but I feel like
You
Stephen A
think
is.
he says if it ain't snowing, I ain't going?
Oh, absolutely. I think Stephen A is going to try to put me on game the whole time we're having a beer.
And then he doesn't come away with the chick's number that he's talking about. He's like, now see that one right there?
Nah, he's gonna be like, if you really want to work in this media industry, man, here's what like, hey,
You
big
gotta
dog.
get your confidence up. Like that one right there.
It's like,
You
hey,
go
big
over
dog,
there, you tell her, hey, I'm AC Lee.
of the Watch the Winning podcast. And when she says, "What's that?" you tell her it's the best damn podcast ever.
Honestly,
And you crazy as hell because you don't listen to it.
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that was some shit that nigga would say though. As advice, I really wouldn't.
As I'm saying it, I say I might start doing it.
Well, Steve is pretty predictable at that point, right? But yeah, to wrap a bow on him, because I know we got to hurry up and jet through some of this other stuff. Yeah, Steve, grow up, man. Like, what is this? Why are we trying to put down LeBron? We get it. You don't like him. That's okay. He doesn't like you. What was the point of even having that as a segment? Everybody knew he wasn't retiring. Again, I figured it was going to be something. They said Amazon Prime. That was like one of the rumors. It was Hennessy. All right, whatever. He already had a deal with them. Grow the
I
fuck
thought
up.
I thought they may have announced some NBA Europe something like I'm going to NBA Europe in 2027. I'm just like, all right, whatever, nigga.
Not
Like,
even that. Worst case scenario, if it even had anything to do with basketball, maybe it would have been coming 2026. We'll get to see who's the real king of the court because we're going to have the Emirates Cup will involve the top 4 teams in Europe.
yeah. But another star player who might actually be on the move, Giannis. And we can do this real quick, man. Do you think he
Yeah,
leaves?
I do. I do think he's going to be gone because the reality of the situation is why is it that even comes out as a rumor and then they do address it and then he says, you know what, in 6 months you never know. It's just like you're basically saying kind of saying championship or bust or forcefully get somebody here even though we have no assets to trade to get anybody here. It's it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if Milwaukee's smart, I don't know what they would be able to get for him at All-Star break, but yeah, I think he's gone.
I just don't know why he would leave. I don't think any situation gets markedly better. And dog, you got your MVPs, you got your championships, you are Milwaukee. Why don't you just stay there and give them the opportunity to try to retool around you again? You know what I mean?
Because he'll be 35 by the time that happens.
So what? He,
Hey, the kids, the wife, they moved to Greece. Let Giannis have some fun in a big city, huh? Not that, the New York media wouldn't fucking see him out with some 24-year-old influencer if he was walking around Brooklyn or, fucking Dumbo or something, right? Like,
I mean, but like, let's think about it, Parlay Pete. Though, players bounce around trying to win in these quick fix situations. But if you are a Giannis, a Joker, a solidified guy in a city, and you brought a ring there, why would you leave if you continue to be a playoff team? And yeah, you haven't gotten over the hump, but Milwaukee, they tried. They
LeBron
brought
left again. He brought a championship and he left. It's off the court, bro. He won it off his off the court shit.
But
higher quality of living.
And if we're looking at it that way, then I don't have an argument for you, but I just think there's value in staying somewhere and just being the guy there. And shit, man, everything is yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Giannis doesn't pay for anything in Milwaukee. And I know Milwaukee is not like the best place in the world, but he's still getting valuable information so that he can make more money outside of the salary cap the right way. Haha, stock tip, not actually a fake endorsement deal, Steve Ballmer. And and so he can grow his empire and like Giannis specifically, he supersedes any market now. You know,
Right.
like he's Giannis. So it doesn't matter where you put Giannis, he's gonna get the endorsement stuff. But yeah, oh wow, we're running out of time.
Yeah, I'm
Diddy,
changing. Uh,
Diddy,
yeah, let's get
Diddy
to
got
Diddy.
4 years. Real quick, Diddy got 4 years. How do we feel about that? Pause.
This was my thought. I thought that it was a little harsh in a sense of considering what they convicted him of, but that was payback for more of what he did. And then even when you break down the numbers, if you get 50 months, it's 4 years, 2 months, right? They're giving him 14 months time served. So
I think they gave him 54 months.
okay, so it's 40 months.
I heard it was, I read somewhere where it's 40. It was, but still.
And you got to do 85% of your time. And then the way that they made it sound as if he might qualify for a certain program to where that knocks it down to where he'll spend the second half of the sentence basically in a halfway house anyways, which will be plush. And, he'll be out kind of. It'll be a halfway house, but he'll be out. And, he won't be a menace to society. And I guess that's the biggest thing, right? Typically when these sentencings happens, it's the idea of, are they a threat to society? Obviously, when people like Cassie write those letters and others come in basically saying they fear for their life still or retaliation, he's a very powerful man. You guys are underestimating him. Look at how long he's been in it. He can get me touched without touching me or without you ever finding out that he's the one that got me touched. And then it looks like something just ironically happened to me. I get it. But I still thought it was just kind of harsh. I feel like he's already been in there for a year. The reality of the situation is, and not to quote 6ix9ine, but he was on academics and basically he said he beat the feds. He said, niggas don't win RICO cases. They said Young Thug took a plea, on his deal and that he didn't beat it. Diddy didn't take no plea. Diddy essentially beat a RICO case.
And he's only getting 40 months. And the one thing, and although there was precedent for it, them being able to use stuff from the other charges that he wasn't convicted of in his sentencing, just overall that bothers me. And again, there's case law and precedent for it, so the judge was not outside of their reach to do it. I just think that's dangerous to where if I'm accused of something, you can use that to add to my conviction, even if I wasn't convicted of that. But
Well,
at the
but
same
that's
time, I have no sympathy for Diddy, even if I'm not a fan of how the process played out. So fuck him.
yeah, and again, and we can put a ribbon on it, but like with him, professionally, he's already ruined. Like he'll never have those endorsements again. He's not gonna work with Ciroc again. He's not gonna
Oh no.
that Cassie video, pretty much ended his professional career to a degree.
Yanks are cooked.
Oh yeah. Welcome to October.
Yeah, and
That's typically when it ends. I mean, think about it. Last year was kind of an aberration for them.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete College Football 6-pack.
666. All right, so we've got a nice little slate here of college picks. I kind of really like this slate, honestly. And Lee, I know you're going to disagree with me on this, but again, it's back to the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I'm going to have to get fooled twice. Northwestern at Penn State. I'm going to take Penn State minus 20.5. I just don't see how they can't bounce back at home against Northwestern. Northwestern's not very good. Give me Penn State 20.5. Next, we got Arkansas headed to Rocky Top. A good old friend of ours named Bobby Petrino back on the sidelines as an HC at Rocky Top. They got the over-under set at 68.5. I'm going to take the under. Honestly, I just don't see the points getting not that high. Maybe it does. Maybe we do have a 40-35 type game. I don't see it. Give me under 68.5. That's a really high over-under. Next, we got Clemson at Boston College. We picked Dabo last week to thump Bill. He's going to thump Boston College too. Dabo's on his revenge tour. Dabo back in the rankings. Let me get Clemson minus 13.5 on the spread. Next, we got a peculiar game here. South Florida at North Texas. Did a little research on North Texas, not understanding why this game's a pick 'em. Anyways, if they want to give free money, take the free money. South Florida on the money line. Next, we got the Red River Shootout, Oklahoma at Texas. It's bounce back week, baby. Let me get Sark and Arch to get it done because I know they said Mateer might play. I don't think he's going to play. If he does play, he's going to be playing injured. Texas' back's against the wall. I'm going to take Texas on the money line out there in Dallas. And then finally, we got the Dogs at Auburn. Another curious line here. We're not going to take the points, but we're just going to take Georgia on the money line. I don't think Auburn's better than Georgia. So give me Georgia.
All righty. So we got Penn State minus 20.5. Arkansas at Tennessee under 68.5. Clemson minus 13.5. South Florida on the money line. Texas on the money line. And UGA on the money line.
Yep, let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete NFL 6-pack.
Yeah, and 666. This is what it's all about, right? So we're going to get into this really, really quickly. All right, we got the Chargers at the Dolphins, 42.5, the over-under. We're going to take the over. I mean, maybe the Chargers come out there and have a dominant defensive performance, but I expect some points to get scored, especially because the lack thereof for the Chargers. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Indianapolis Colts. Baffling line. Minus 6.5 Colts. Easy money. Easy money. Next, we got Dallas at Carolina Panthers. I like Dallas minus 2.5. Dak's been playing like an MVP. I expect him to put up points. Carolina is not good. Next, we got Seattle at Jacksonville. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Let me get the Jaguars on the money line at home. It's a tough spot for Seattle to have to go all the way down to Jacksonville. Next, we got the New England Patriots at the New Orleans Saints. I like under 47.5. I don't see the Saints scoring very many points, but their Saints defense is kind of their best thing about that team. And then finally, I know I said 3 weeks ago that I wouldn't do this again, but God damn it, the spirit is in me. Buffalo Bills at the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to take the Falcons money line. I think the Falcons are going to win this game. I like the Falcons.
All right, so we've got Chargers at Dolphins over 42.5. Colts minus 6.5. Dallas minus 2.5. Jags on the money line. Patriots at Saints under. What's that number on that under?
47.5.
Under 47.5, and the Falcons on the money line.
Well, I know you like that. Well,
You like
know that
it?
I liked it, so that means that you love it.
You like it? Then I love it.
And that means it's time for Leads 3. Leads 3.
Yeah, so for Leads 3 this week is actually pretty difficult. But I'm going to take Texas on the money line. I like Texas on the money line a lot. I'm also going to take the Colts minus 6.5. The Cardinals aren't as good as I thought they were.
Oh, they're just not a good team, bro.
And then finally, let me get the Cowboys minus 2.5. I like that number for Dallas. Dak's been killing shit, and yeah, they can win by field goal.
We love it. Well, we've got about a minute and a half here, Lee. I think it's time to see what AC Lee and Parlay Pete got something to say.
What do I have to say? Hey, man, we should care more about the government shutdown than Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Black America, know what's going on and know how it's affecting our communities and be more active. A lot of voters in Georgia, if you haven't voted in so many voting cycles, you lose your registration. So make sure you know your status and get registered to vote.
Beautifully put. With my 30 seconds here, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know the new app, Sora. It is the fucking wildest shit. Anyone that's been paying attention to the page saw that we put up Tupac Shakur giving us a nice little shout out. That's what he listens to when he's in the car down there in Havana. But yeah, crazy app. Anyone that hasn't heard about it, it's going to blow up soon. It's just like TikTok, but with AI videos, it's insane.
Yeah, and we'll probably have a deeper Sora conversation later. But hey, Parlay Pete, great show, buddy.
Hey, fantastic show. Salutations, good people.
All right, big dog.
All right, brother.